A man charged with kidnapping and rape is released on zero bail because of coronavirus concerns, why the mayor of Livermore says that puts his community at risk.
The economic fallout continues. How closures from the art world may be affecting the restaurant business.
Well, it was a cloudy start to our weekend, but I'm tracking not only brighter, but warmer weather in the days ahead. We'll have all the details in the AccuWeather forecast. ABC 7 News at 11 starts right now.
Now, your health, your safety. This is ABC 7 News.
A man awaiting trial on multiple sex assault charges has been released from Santa Rita jail. The judge said the decision was made because the man was at risk of getting COVID-19. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Thomas. The mayor of Livermore is outraged over the judge's decision. In an open letter, he wrote the suspect was now, quote, living in one of our neighborhoods. ABC 7 News reporter Chris Reyes has the story.
My number one priority is the safety of my community.
Livermore Mayor John Marchand penned this letter Friday, soon after Judge Thomas Reardon released 61-year-old Gregory Vienne, changing his bail from $2.5 million to $0. He faces several sexual assault charges, including rape. Vienne was in Santa Rita jail in Dublin, where there has been an outbreak of COVID-19. This month, the California Judicial Council began moving towards setting bail at $0 for low-level felonies and misdemeanor to limit the spread of coronavirus in jails statewide. Vienne's lawyer clarified that her client was not released under this new emergency bill. In a statement to ABC 7 News, Vienne's lawyer, Melissa Adams, said, to be clear, Mr. Vienne was not released pursuant to the emergency bail schedule. However, in light of the COVID-19 pandemic and Mr. Vienne's unique personal and medical circumstances, I argued that his bail should be reviewed. Threats to the family, Mr. Vienne, and myself will not be tolerated. She didn't clarify his medical condition. Vienne must wear an ankle bracelet, but Mayor Marchand says that is not enough.
I don't believe that releasing someone on a zero bail is in the best interest of my community. What incentive does he have to keep his ankle monitor charged?
Vienne was arrested and charged in 2019 after a lengthy investigation that goes back to the 90s, after multiple victims were kidnapped and raped in Livermore and Union City. His trial date has not been set. Mayor Marchand wants the judge's decision reviewed, and he's asking his community to reach out to their local representatives.
But people are outraged that the judge made the call that his health and well-being was more important than the safety of our community.
In Livermore, Chris Reyes for ABC 7 News.
A star witness in the Hillsborough heiress murder case will serve time in jail for passport fraud. During a video conference today, a judge sentenced Mustafa Traore to 6 months. Traore admitted to using a false name to obtain a passport. The judge cited the coronavirus pandemic and conditions at Santa Rita jail as mitigating factors in imposing a sentence less than the 2 years the U.S. attorney requested. Traore was a witness in the murder case of Keith Green in 2016. Defendant Tiffany Lee was found not guilty, and the jury deadlocked on a second defendant. Prosecutors threw Traore off the case after he contacted a defense witness. They did not retry him. This is the 7th weekend of our shelter-in-place order due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Here in the Bay Area, staying home is not easy, but state and local officials say it's still necessary to flatten the curve. But for many, that's becoming harder to do. ABC 7 News reporter Cornell Bernard has the story.
You getting antsy?
A little bit, yeah.
7 weeks at home has been a long time for Roxana Rojas from Oakland, and she's not alone. Lake Merritt was crowded with folks getting sun and exercise on Saturday.
The lake is one of the few places that really counts as a place to be allowing us to walk because a lot of the parks are closed.
Last weekend, the lake looked a lot like pre-COVID 2019. Not much social distancing happening. It prompted the mayor to send a warning. Give the lake a break.
Lake Merritt is getting too crowded. Please recreate somewhere else.
Today, Oakland police officers were on duty to discourage any large gatherings. Despite that, many say things are definitely changing.
A lot more traffic and then just people walking.
That's great. On the Marina Green in San Francisco, police volunteers were handing out masks to those who didn't have one. Earlier in the day, the green was crowded with people. Governor Gavin Newsom came close to issuing an ultimatum Friday, saying the shelter-in-place order is close to being modified, but that depends on the behavior of the public, especially beachgoers in Southern California.
If we have the kind of weekend that I hope and expect we will, where we don't see those huge crowds descend, then we're going to be in a position as early as Monday, Tuesday, I hope, to make some announcements of new strategies and partnerships.
The Marin County Sheriff tweeted the stay-at-home order is still happening and will be enforced. For the most part, first responders say the Bay Area is doing its part, wearing face coverings and staying home to help flatten the curve of this deadly pandemic.
Without your support and without you adhering to these guidelines, I think that we would be in a much worse spot than we are today.
Starting Monday, 6 Bay Area counties will relax some shelter-in-place restrictions. Construction activities, retail, nurseries, and landscapers, including golf courses, will be allowed to operate again. In San Francisco, Cornell Bernard, ABC 7 News.
After seeing large crowds and cars parking all over the place last weekend, Santa Cruz County is taking measures to prevent its beaches from being jammed full of people. All beaches are closing from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. People will be allowed if they are surfing, swimming, or boating. During the hours the beaches are open, visitors should walk, run, or exercise in short. Keep your feet moving and don't sunbathe. More roads are being closed off to cars in Oakland this weekend to give people enough space to exercise outside and stay socially distanced. We put a map together to show you where. There are 5 miles of closures along 6 routes in several Oakland neighborhoods. This is the 3rd round of closures during the stay-at-home order. The city plans to close another 4 to 5 miles of streets next week. Governor Newsom says the state is days, not weeks away from more changes to the stay-at-home order, but impacts from the order have already closed doors in San Francisco, including a popular restaurant chain. ABC 7 News reporter Lauren Martinez joins us now with the story. Lauren?
Eric, businesses or restaurants are either boarding up for good or they're teetering to do so. The small restaurant chain called The Grove announced the closure of their Hayes Valley location, and more could be at risk.
Hayes Valley is usually hopping tourists and hipsters and, everybody overpaying for coffee and the whole thing. And, you saw it. It's all boarded up.
Rich Marinoff lives directly above the Grove. The owners of the small restaurant chain tell us they closed their Hayes Valley location.
So you got the Symphony here, you got the Jazz Center next door, City Arts and Lectures. When those closed down, all the restaurant guests disappeared.
The owners of the Grove are worried another location of theirs on Fillmore in Pacific Heights won't turn a profit once restrictions begin to loosen up due to limited seating space and social distancing measures. On Fillmore Street, 90% of businesses are closed.
Right now, there are about over 30 businesses that are boarded up.
Voss Caniris with the Fillmore Merchant Association says businesses that had a digital presence before COVID-19 had a leg up, and those still trying to stay open should try and adapt to online.
There needs to be an online shop in some capacity, of course, catering, takeout, delivery, online apps. It's definitely the future.
He says businesses need to start opening up, but in a safe manner.
There are 95,000 businesses in the city. Half of them are considered small business. 45,000 businesses employ 10 or less employees, and yet they employ 350,000 people in the city. So this is a big part of our community.
Governor Newsom said state officials are, quote, very, very close to making some announcements that will affect hospitality industries, including restaurants, but modifications will be in place. Eric, back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Cal Maritime Academy has canceled its summer training cruise. The Vallejo School's president released a video message today saying there were too many factors outside of their control, including the inability to test cadets before boarding and to maintain testing on the cruise. Cal Maritime is also planning for students to come back to school in person, but the date keeps getting pushed back.
We continue to work through our campus-wide planning process for a return to face-to-face instruction. We have not yet reached a decision on a hard restart date as health and safety conditions remain uncertain. I know this causes more uncertainty for you and your families. I wish it were easier, but it's not.
Parents we spoke with earlier this week had mixed opinions about their kids returning to classrooms so soon. Still ahead on ABC 7 News at 11, the governor shut down beaches in Southern California after a large crowd last weekend. At least one city is now pushing back.
And I'm meteorologist Drew Tumo. While it's a pretty cloudy night out there tonight, we have brighter days ahead. We'll have the details in the accurate forecast coming up.
Plus, how some local high schoolers are hitting the pavement to help families in need.
ABC 7 Bay Area is now streaming live newscasts, breaking news and weather with our new ABC 7 app on all these platforms. Just search ABC 7 Bay Area and download our free app.
ABC 7, keeping you connected.
Save money by using less energy. To learn more, visit safetyactioncenter.pge.com.
Opposition is growing to Governor Gavin Newsom's order to close beaches in Orange County because of public health concerns. Newport Beach's City Council voted to affirm its support today for two other cities that are challenging the governor in court. Protesters rallied to reopen those beaches yesterday while a state judge upheld Governor Newsom's order for now. Another hearing is set for later this month. Huntington Beach is one of the cities that took the governor to court. Now police are working to keep people off the beach.
We're a surf city, and it is part of our culture here in Huntington Beach that people come out to the beach not only to surf, but to swim. It is difficult for us as officers, residents, all of us, and we are asking that people be patient with us.
Governor Newsom issued the order after viewing scenes like this when thousands crowded Orange County beaches last week. In the North Bay, Grayton Resort and Casino furloughed many employees on Friday, and top management took a 20% pay cut. About 150 of the workers remain on the job, from security to maintenance and cleaning crews. The Rohnert Park Casino employs more than 2,000 people and is one of the largest in the Bay Area. An official told the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat the casino is looking at potentially reopening in June and has a four-step plan it has sent to Governor Gavin Newsom. Free coronavirus testing will be offered in a San Rafael neighborhood starting Monday. Marin County will offer it to those who live in the Canal, which is one of the most diverse and densely populated areas of the county. The site will be on Francisco Boulevard and should be able to do more than 100 tests per day. People will have to make an appointment first, and they can do that online. There are more than 230 confirmed cases of the virus in Marin County. The San Francisco Marin Food Bank is planning to hold another food giveaway in San Francisco on Monday. It's been using pop-up pantries as ways to distribute food to those who need it most. Mondays will be at Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, and the food bank is looking for people to volunteer for 2 different shifts. Because of safety concerns, people must reserve a spot to volunteer. They will not accept walk-ins. ABC 7's Project Thanks is recognizing a group of high school students who are giving up their day to raise money for the hungry. Los Altos High School kicked off the Rosen 1 mile per hour challenge at 9 this morning. Students walk or run a single mile each hour for 24 straight hours. The high school student body is pledging $1 for every mile achieved. The creator said he got the idea to connect with his friends during quarantine.
I wanted a way to stay active and to do something with my friends, but obviously not together in real life. And the first time we did it was a great success, so I thought it would be a great idea to apply it to a charity and try to raise money to donate to a charity.
43 kids signed up and will take part in different themes like run with pets, superheroes, wear a jersey, and more. So far, more than $7,500 has been raised for the Second Harvest Food Bank. And we invite you to join Better Bay Area Project Thanks and share your gratitude for everyone on the front lines of the COVID-19 battle. Use the hashtag Better Bay Area to show us how you're saying thank you, and we will share the love. Right now, we will share the forecast with meteorologist Drew Tumo.
Hi, Eric. Yeah, it was a little cloudy today, rather cool in terms of early May numbers. Tomorrow, though, it's going to be a much nicer looking day. We're expecting a lot of sunshine to finish out the weekend. Live Doppler 7, along with satellite right now, showing you we have a fair amount of cloud cover still overhead. Earlier in the evening, a couple of light sprinkles fell around San Francisco and points to the north. Any wet weather has really just exited the region. This is all associated with a cold front moving through Northern California right now. We'll loop it over the past 3 hours, and you can see the cloud cover is slowly beginning to sink south and exit the Bay area. So the sunshine will be in full force tomorrow. Do not worry. Right now, temperature-wise, we still have that cloud cover overhead, so it acts like insulation at night. So you can see numbers still on either side of about 60 degrees for many communities around the Bay shoreline. We're at 61 in Oakland, 58 in San Mateo, 62 in San Jose. But we have clear skies already in parts of Ukiah, already down to 47 degrees. So it will cool off in the North Bay later on tonight. Here's live Doppler 7 along with satellite. The story we are tracking this weekend. You can see that cold front defined very well. Some showers, some thunderstorms around Redding. But the last couple of hours, the cloud cover is breaking down. The showers are winding down. And in the wake of this cold front tomorrow, we will have clear skies. So overnight tonight, we have the clouds right now. Clear skies over the next couple of hours. Numbers in the North Bay dropping into the 40s, low 50s for San Francisco, Oakland, 53, that overnight low for San Jose. So we look at your day planner tomorrow, much different than it was today. You can see sun's up here very early at 6:10 in the morning. The breeze will be confined to the coast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour throughout the afternoon, but we get a lot of sunshine in our day and temperatures in the 60s around the bay and mid-70s in our warmer spots inland. By the way, look at your sunset. Our sun now going down past 8. Sunset tomorrow at 8:02 in the evening. So highs on your Sunday, 1 or 2 degrees warmer tomorrow than we were today. But the bigger story, it's a brighter day, a lot of sunshine. 68 the high in Oakland, 63 in the city, 72 in San Jose, 74 in Santa Rosa, and 76 the high in both Fairfield and Antioch. As the week progresses, we're going to find more and more warm air moving in. Look at the numbers by Wednesday. We'll fast forward with future tracker temperatures, and we warm up nicely by Wednesday afternoon. Look at these numbers, well above average for this time of year, 70s to mid-80s. And it gets even hotter on Thursday. Watch those numbers jump even more. We can see our hottest spots going into the low 90s. So we are in store for another warm spell on the 7-day forecast. Here it is, the accurate with the 7-day tomorrow, showing you sunnier skies, breezy on the coast, mild on Monday, and then we'll watch those numbers really rise, especially Wednesday into Thursday. Eric, by Thursday, we're sitting in the low 90s. By Friday, around the bay, we'll be in the 80s and 90s. And by Saturday, a little bit cooler along the coast, but still rather hot inland with that summer spread of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Here we go, warm up on the way. Another one for this week ahead.
Been waiting for those 90s. Drew, thank you very much.
Yeah, I bet you were.
Yeah. Well, still ahead on ABC 7 News at 11, a new craze during the quarantine. Just how brisk business has been for Bay Area bike shops as people look for ways to exercise.
I'm Brian from 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
You never know how much junk you've got until you move.
Point to something you wish would disappear.
Would it be possible to... It's gone.
Many retailers are taking a financial beating because of the pandemic, but business is booming for Bay Area bike shops as people turn to cycling to stay in shape. Bike shops are allowed to remain open. That's because many people rely on cycling for essential travel. The Examiner reports one bike shop owner said, quote, "We're basically selling bikes faster than we can build them." San Francisco and Oakland have both closed streets to provide safe places where walkers, joggers, and cyclists can socially distance. Look at sports now with Chris Alvarez.
Coming up in sports, Stephen Curry motivates the class of 2020 virtually, and we're all picking up new hobbies these days. What about head coach Steve Kerr of the Warriors, the interesting hobby you may not know he's into? Sports is next.
Hey, America.
Idol will do the impossible again. The top 10 will sing songs inspired by home from their homes.
I am so excited about this.
For your vote.
This is a must-see Idol event.
American Idol, new ABC Sunday.
We're here for you, and we're open.
I'm original, one of a kind, you feel me?
Love ya. You look cute.
Better than you.
Pop my 100% all-white meat classic or spicy popcorn chicken combo for just $5.99.
As jobs
Now, ABC 7 Sports with Chris Alvarez.
Stephen Curry's work off the court has been absolutely tremendous during this pandemic. Now, on Saturday, he held a virtual graduation along with a couple other celebrities, including Serena Williams and Kevin Hart. And he had this message for the 2020 class.
I'm grateful for this opportunity to congratulate you, the undefeated class of 2020. You're my kind of people. Y'all know that. You're record-setting, you're history-making, and you show up to win even in the greatest adversity. And we're here today to celebrate because we believe in the work that you've done should be celebrated at the highest level, no matter what's going on right now.
Curry's head coach, Steve Kerr, joined us on the With Authority podcast earlier this week. We learned a lot with Steve in our 40-plus minute interview, including his love for improv. He actually did some with Second City in Chicago.
They're putting on online shows with various skits, actors at home, and they got in touch with me and asked me to be a part of one.
Second City Improv releasing the video on YouTube earlier this week. Coach Kerr joined other actors, that is, virtually and played a doula using his coaching skills to help a delivery. Here's Coach like you've never seen him before.
Carol, listen, this is your time to shine.
Wait, are you doing this for extra cash while the NBA's on hiatus?
No, I've actually been doing this since '97. I delivered Dickie Simpkins' kid on the team plane.
As a doula?
Well, in both cases, you're coaching babies.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to me. Take it one possession at a time.
Possession?
Work with me, Carol. Listen, I survived a fist fight with Michael Jordan. I have 8 rings. I'm your doula. You can do this.
The first Saturday in May, usually the Kentucky Derby. However, with this pandemic, it'll be held in September. But there was a race on Saturday. Virtually, the 13 Triple Crown winners got together on the racetrack, and here's the call.
Here comes Secretariat in the middle. Citation on the inside. Then Seattle's Fluid American Pharaoh. Here's the finish. Secretariat has won it. Over Citation, then Seattle.
47 years after winning the race on his way to a Triple Crown, the 7-2 favorite Secretariat wins the virtual race with a great run down the stretch. And hey, did you see this? Check out Thor Bjornsson going for the deadlift world record, just a mere 1,104 pounds. Not a problem for the man who played the Mountain in the Game of Thrones. In an interview afterwards, he said he could have done more, but what's the point? That is a whole lot of weight to lift. He's a strong man, much stronger than I. Let's send it back to you.
Half a ton. Oh, my goodness. Much more to come on ABC 7 News at 11. The coronavirus pandemic could be encouraging more families to leave city life, the fears that have them fleeing to the suburbs. Plus, Costco is cracking down on meat, the new policy on purchases as the retailer grapples with a struggling supply chain.
New York City is in a crisis.
If you're a healthcare worker, we need your help now. New York City is calling on healthcare workers across the country to volunteer.
Go to nyc.gov/helpnow to register. Your help can save lives. Thank you.
When your garage door breaks, you feel vulnerable. As an approved essential business, Precision Door will remain open even during the shelter-in-place order here in California. We're your neighbor, and we're going to get through this together.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Now, your health, your safety. This is ABC 7 News.
Good evening, I'm Eric Thomas. In tonight's headlines, the mayor of Livermore is outraged after a Santa Rita jail inmate awaiting sex assault charges, including rape, was released. The judge said the decision was made because 61-year-old Gregory Wien was at risk of getting COVID-19. Wien must wear an ankle monitor, but the mayor says that is not enough. Staying home during the 7th week of the Bay Area's shelter-in-place order is getting more difficult for some. Today, Oakland police were discouraging large gatherings at Lake Merritt, while Marina Green police were handing out masks in San Francisco. State and local officials say staying home is still necessary to flatten the curve. Impacts from the order have already closed doors in San Francisco, including a popular restaurant chain. The small restaurant chain called The Grove announced the closure of its Hayes Valley location, and its Fillmore Valley location could be at risk. 90% of businesses are closed on Fillmore Street. Across the country, coronavirus restrictions are putting people on edge. Governors are weighing when it'll be safe to reopen and just how to do it, plus where the world stands on the development of a vaccine. ABC News reporter Ty Hernandez has details.
With COVID-19 cases dropping in some areas, increasing in others, governors across the country are dealing with a difficult decision: when to reopen. It's been more than a week since Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp took an aggressive approach to reopening his state, which took effect Friday. The state reporting 4,500 more cases since April 27th. But in Mississippi, the governor is pausing his plans after the state saw its largest single-day increase, nearly 400 new cases and 20 new deaths.
This was a large enough change to make me take a step back
and want to look at the board. And I've come to the conclusion that I must hold on for now.
Gallup, New Mexico on lockdown as the number of cases there surges. Every road surrounding the city now closed. In Southern California, Orange County beaches closed by Governor Gavin Newsom, drawing widespread protests. In Chicago, Mayor Lori Lightfoot with a strong warning for anyone hosting or attending large house parties.
And you refuse to do what is necessary to save lives in the city in the middle of a pandemic, we will take you to jail. Period.
In New York City, 1,000 additional police officers are on patrol to enforce social distancing as beautiful spring weather brings more people out of their homes. New Jersey's governor opening state parks, but issuing a warning.
I cannot stress enough how big a test this weekend will be in terms of keeping these trend lines moving in the right direction.
As states grapple with decisions on when to relax stay-at-home orders, scientists continue working on a COVID-19 vaccine. More than 100 vaccine studies underway worldwide. At least 8 are in human trials, including 2 in the U.S. But there are challenges ahead.
It will take unprecedented collaboration between the local and federal government, pharmaceutical industry, academia, and diagnostic labs to put this together. There's a real chance we're going to have to open America before we have an effective vaccine.
New York State testing at least 15,000 people for antibodies, which show if a person may have been exposed to the virus. But there are questions about the reliability of those tests, and only a few are FDA authorized. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
Realtors are noticing a new trend coming out of the coronavirus pandemic. City dwellers looking to move to the suburbs for fresh air and a little extra space.
I've been inside for 48 days now with 3 little boys. It's a challenge for me as a parent and for the kids themselves.
Lifelong New Yorker Chloe Davis and her husband could never have imagined leaving the Big Apple till now. Weeks spent inside a cramped 2-bedroom apartment, homeschooling their young sons and caring for their pets have changed their perspective. Now they want to find a house in nearby suburbs. Housing industry experts say the uncertainty of the virus and the economy is part of it.
There's no end in sight. So if somebody said, hey, this is 6 weeks and you're going to be fine, it would be a different animal. But these people are like, what happens when the second wave comes?
Many cities were already seeing a mild population decline, and the pandemic could supercharge this trend. That could force steep cuts in tax revenue and basic services like schools, transit, police, and fire. Mega investor Warren Buffett revealed today that his firm Berkshire Hathaway sold off all of its stocks in U.S. airlines several months ago. Berkshire Hathaway held stakes in the 4 biggest U.S. carriers, American, Delta, Southwest, and United. The company sold all of those stocks in December when those investments were worth more than a combined $4 billion. And that sale followed 10 straight years of profits for the airlines. Air travel is down 95% due largely to the pandemic. United Airlines warns of major layoffs on the horizon if air travel does not pick up. United President Scott Kirby says the company lost $1.7 billion in the first quarter, and he worries the next quarter could be even worse. 93,000 people work for United, which is a major employer here in the Bay Area. It runs a hub and a large maintenance facility at SFO. Southwest Airlines is changing how passengers will line up to board its flights to promote social distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic. Because of the coronavirus, Southwest Airlines is changing its notorious boarding process that some people liken to a cattle call. Passengers traditionally line up in groups of 30 along both sides of marked poles, but now Southwest will ask customers to queue in much smaller groups, just 10 passengers at a time. Southwest has also stopped serving onboard drinks and snacks, and it's asking passengers to wear masks as well. Costco will now limit how much meat members can buy when they shop at its warehouses. Members can only purchase 3 items from Costco's selection of beef, pork, and poultry products. Costco says it's limiting meat purchases to make sure all members can purchase the merchandise they want and need. Starting Monday, all Costco members and employees must wear masks or face coverings. Many Costco gas stations will resume their normal hours on Monday as well. Still ahead on ABC 7 News at 11, we talk to a Bay Area woman, an icon of the zero waste movement, who says you don't have to give up on being eco-friendly during the COVID-19 crisis.
And I'm meteorologist Drew Tuma. We are tracking warmer weather in the days ahead. We'll have the numbers in the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
And here at ABC7, we're honoring the class of 2020 who've had to forego graduation ceremonies and other milestones due to the coronavirus pandemic. Isabella Kinzer is graduating from Washington High School in Fremont. Isabella is headed to the University of Oregon in the fall. Congrats, Isabella. If you want to honor a graduate, share the details on our website, abc7news.com, and we may give them a shout-out on TV or online. And please, no professional photos. On the site, you can also check out a photo gallery of all the seniors we're honoring.
For live coverage of the coronavirus and breaking news alerts as they happen, get the ABC7 News app. Plus, local resources to help you through the shelter-in-place are always available on the app and at abc7news.com/coronavirus.
When we face
A Bay Area woman who has become an icon of the zero waste movement is stuck in an RV in the desert because of COVID-19, but she's not giving up on her waste-cutting ways, and she says you shouldn't either. ABC7 News anchor Dion Lim has the story.
Since 2008, my household of 4 produces just 1 jar of trash per year. So here it is. For a household means trying to reduce as much as possible the trash that you produce. It does translate into a simpler life, a life that is based on experiences instead of things.
Bea Johnson is the author of the best-selling book Zero Waste Home. Her book, her social media, and her appearances all over the world helped launch a global movement. And she's not giving up because of COVID-19. Bea is urging people sheltering at home to take time to consider living with less stuff and less waste. It's good for the planet and for you.
The great advantage of zero waste or zero waste lifestyle is that it makes you highly self-sufficient and highly adaptable.
Bea lives in Mill Valley, California, but she's talking to us from a campground in the Arizona desert. Bea was on a year-long speaking tour living with her husband in an Airstream travel trailer when the pandemic hit.
40 of my events have been canceled this spring, but we can't really go back home. We can go back to the Bay Area, given that our home is rented out. So this is the situation we're in, but we make the best of it.
So marooned in the desert with an iffy internet connection, she's filling us in on what she calls the 5 R's of zero waste.
So if you think about it, those 5 R's are applicable anywhere in the world, no matter what situation you're in, including a pandemic. 1, refuse what you do not need. And actually, this confinement is a great opportunity for you to refuse junk mail. Contact other people that are sending junk mail to you. 2, reduce what you do actually need. This is a great time for you to consider your past consumption and let go of all the things you do not truly use or need in your home. When you let go, you'll be able to make those things, which are in themselves valuable resources, available to your community. Number 3 is to reuse. What is it in your home that is disposable and that you can replace with reusables?
During the pandemic, many stores have banned reusable bags, but don't forget about other easy reusables.
Everyone has already in their home old t-shirts or old sheets that they can turn into rags, or maybe this is time for you to make masks for other people with those items. 4th is to recycle, but recycle only what you cannot refuse, reduce, or reuse. And finally, rot, which means composting.
30% of American waste is packaging and containers. That's why a staple of zero waste living is buying unpackaged products from bulk bins. Now, many stores are temporarily banning that practice because of COVID-19. Some, like Good Earth in Mill Valley, still sell in bulk, but the staff bags the items for you. Bea's website has a bulk finder feature to help you find other locations still selling bulk goods.
I think it's very important to support them if you do have one close to you.
Even if your store does not have bulk bins, you still have choices.
And as you can imagine, that means sticking away from plastics. So if I need to buy sugar and I have a choice between plastic or paper, of course, I'm going to choose the paper. Paper is something that is highly recyclable, but it's also something that I could compost if I cannot recycle it.
Many stores still offer milk in returnable glass bottles, and some sell other products in glass jars that can also be returned for reuse and a money-back deposit.
When people tell me, well, restaurants have stopped accepting reusable cups, what can I do? Stay at home and make your own coffee.
All right, Drew Tuma, ready for a warm-up? I know I am.
Oh, and I know you love talking about turning on your AC when it gets into the 90s,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah,
So
buddy.
you got a couple more days before it gets too intense. And then by the second half of the forecast, we'll talk about that very warm weather. Tonight, it's all about that cloud cover overhead right now. Live Doppler 7 along with satellite. We're dealing with mostly cloudy skies in a lot of cities right now. But over the next couple of hours, the cloud cover will be exiting as this front moves through. So overnight tonight, we'll see numbers in our coolest spots in the lower 40s. About 50 in Richmond, 50 in Livermore, 48 in San Rafael. We'll drop to about 51 in San Mateo. Now, tomorrow, it's a much brighter day. It's a lot of sunshine. Temperatures a couple of degrees warmer than we were today. We'll hit about 63 in the city for a high tomorrow. 74, though, in Santa Rosa, so it's mild in the North Bay. 72 in San Jose. 68 in Oakland and Half Moon Bay. A little bit cooler, a little breezy on our coast at about 59 degrees. So the AccuWeather 7-day forecast will show you brighter, breezier tomorrow, and then watch as the numbers climb. And it's really Thursday and Friday this week that temperatures are very warm, 80s to low 90s, Eric, in our warmest spots, where some cooler air along the coast moves in here 1 week next Saturday, okay?
All right, it is May. Drew, thank you very much.
It is, yeah.
All right. Chris Alvarez has a look at sports.
Coming up in sports, a Bay Area native's quest to become the next American Idol. There's two Bay Area natives, and we catch up with one. Danville's Grace Lear, the former Cal soccer star, her historic home performance on American Idol. We'll show you that in sports.
During every crisis in the last 155 years, Chronicle reporters are here. The experts on the front lines, telling the story of our city, adding perspective, sharing stories of bravery, compassion, and resilience. And we will be here to chronicle our city's recovery.
We will get through this together. Thank you.
We started Localish with a simple goal in mind: find and tell positive stories in our local communities. Lately, it's felt a little tougher.
I spent the past decade of my life building this business.
We just closed.
If small businesses evaporate, we will be at a loss.
We're isolated, distanced, enduring solo, but not alone.
Even in the midst of all of these things that we're going through, we should give.
That's why we're starting #BeLocalish, to try and find ways to help our local businesses struggling right now. Maybe it's ordering takeout every week from your favorite local pizza joint, or encouraging friends to join you on your gym's virtual workout. Tag #BeLocalish, and we'll help you spread the word.
This moment in time has given us an opportunity to see how we are stronger together, not apart.
In this crisis,
you can save lives just by staying home.
that's how we beat this thing.
We all have a part to do by staying apart.
Connect with us, connect with friends and family. Just do it online and stay at home.
Please, stay home.
Now, ABC 7 Sports with Chris Alvarez.
It is a big weekend for two Bay Area natives, Francisco Martin of San Francisco and Danville's Grace Lear. Now, Lear played soccer at Cal, and now she's on the verge of the top 10 in American Idol.
And with stay-at-home orders all across the nation, like many productions, we've had to shift the way we make our show.
You were part of a historic American Idol where you guys performed from home.
So cry just a little for me.
What was it actually like?
It was amazing. It's different without the crowd. It's different without the live band. But for me, I treated it like any other performance. I had so much fun. That song meant a lot to me, and I was just really wanting to get that emotion across. Even if it was just through that iPhone camera, I knew that millions of people are watching it on the other side.
You performed from your backyard. Did you have to say, hey, neighbors, quiet, like I got the biggest performance of my life going on?
It's so fun to be able to be filming American Idol. I never thought I would be filming American Idol from my own backyard here in Danville.
What was the camera setup like? I mean, that looked like as if almost American Idol was at your house. How did that all work?
We're kind of working with the American Idol crew, over video virtual meetings. I'm not only now a singer and an artist, a country artist, but I'm now being like an engineer and a camera person and a stage director and a designer. And it's wearing a lot of hats, but it's really fun. And I'm just taking it all in and enjoying it.
What are we going to see on Sunday when we watch on ABC?
You guys are going to see the top 10 reveal. So they're going to announce who out of these 20 amazing talented contestants who made top 10.
Wow.
And once that top 10 is created, that top 10 is going to sing their top 10 song. So it's a combination of you're going to see who made top 10 and then they get to perform right away for America once more.
Wow.
It is going to be a great show. Good luck to Francisco and Grace as they both try to get into the top 10 and represent the Bay Area. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Great job in her own backyard. That's it for tonight. I'm Eric Thomas. ABC 7 News continues tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. For Dion, Drew, Chris, and the entire ABC 7 News team, thanks for joining us. Have a safe evening.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota.